Vancouver. As temperatures rise in Metro Vancouver, and Environment and Climate Change Canada issues a heat warning, advocates say seniors, people with disabilities, workers, and the homeless are at risk of health complications. The extreme weather warning applied to all cities in the Metro Vancouver region, where temperatures are expected to climb into the low 30s, which is up to 14 degrees higher than average June temperatures. Meteorologists expect heat records to be broken in some areas. If you're out in the heat, stay hydrated, and if you know of anyone vulnerable, you are urged to be on the lookout for them to do the same. Tessa Vikander, Star Metro. We've seen temperatures build over the past few days and they are reaching their crescendo now, said Armel Castellan, meteorologist for Environment and Climate Change Canada. Castellan said heat warnings are issued when temperatures reach 29°C 2 days in a row, and nighttime temperatures don't drop below 16°C because May was such a hot month. Temperatures in the first half of June may have seemed cold, he said. Some Vancouverites even referred to it as January, but those temperatures were actually normal for June. Article continued below. Today's warning, which Castellan said people should take seriously, recommends that people drink lots of water before they feel thirsty, schedule outdoor activities during the cooler times of the day, and seek shade or air-conditioned spaces. Read more. Heat wave of 1936 hit Toronto. Children the hardest most of Canada, to enjoy slightly warmer conditions than last year, meteorologists say. Opinion, men who underdress in the cold, a matter of body heat, are mating. Michael Brower, professor at the School of Population and Public Health at the University of BC, warned that those who use fans to beat the heat should think again. Fans can actually make things worse, he said. There's a feeling of relief, but you're really increasing the potential for dehydration. Unless you're really drinking a lot of water. Article continued below. Fans blow the warm air at your body, he said, and drive the sweat away, which then makes you sweat more, and can eventually cause dehydration. Even something like a damp cloth is better, or air conditioning, he said. But not everyone has easy access to those things. Jeremy Hunka, spokesperson for the Union Gospel Mission (UGM) in Vancouver's downtown east side (DTES), is concerned about how the city's homeless population will fare in the heat wave. Heat waves can be fatal. We've seen that before when it comes to the homeless population in Vancouver, he said. UGM's outreach workers distribute reusable water bottles, hats and sunscreen throughout the neighborhood, but Hunka said they are low on supplies right now, and are asking the public for donations of lightly used summer gear. Academic studies, he said, show that the death rate during a heat wave rises much more quickly in places like the DTES than it does in the rest of the city. The DTES, he said, has a lot of concrete, fewer trees, and more people who are dealing with complicated health conditions. The concrete just bakes during the hot summer heat wave, Hunka said. People who use mobility aids are also more likely to experience the brunt of the high temperatures, says one disability advocate. Sam Turkett, Director of Advocacy Access at Disability Alliance BC, says people with disabilities are also vulnerable to extreme fluctuations in temperatures because their health conditions might mean they have a reduced tolerance to extra physical activity. I do worry about the community of people we support, he said. For many people with mobility impairments, going from place to place can just physically take longer, which means more exposure to the kind of unforgiving temperatures we're going to be experiencing, Turkett said. Seniors also need to take extra caution, said Brower. He is particularly concerned that they get enough water, because they might be on medications that affect their body's ability to retain liquids. Those with dementia are also at risk, Brower said, because they may simply forget to take refuge from the heat or drink water. WorkSafe BC is also warning those who work outdoors and their managers that if workers are exhausted by the heat, they could get injured. In a release release Monday, WorkSafe BC states that in 2017 it accepted 30 claims province-wide for work-related injuries caused by heat exhaustion and heat stroke. Last year landscapers, welders, forestry workers, and construction workers had some of the highest numbers of heat stress-related claims, and according to the organization the onus is on employers to keep track of whether the heat is making work dangerous. According to Castellan at Environment and Climate Change Canada, temperatures are expected to cool down in about 10 days. Tessa Vikander is a Vancouver-based reporter. Follow her on Twitter, @TessaVikander.